in my clock, I can't stop. Fuck around, make my 40 pop. No popcorn, I pop pistols. Reaming my body, clothing no issue. Bitch, you look sick, you need a tissue. You drop a body, I just might bless you. I'm metrosexual.
Yo, what is going on, everyone? It's Wraith here, back with another video. Now, today's video, I'm going to be basically talking about how to improve your game sense while playing Fortnite, because game sense is honestly one of the most important kind of things to have in the game. You can be the best mechanically gifted player, have the best aim, have the best everything, but if you don't have a good IQ, because like you're rotating bad, you're taking bad fights, you're not doing specific things, etc, etc, you're not going to excel. Now, if you're an extremely big brain player and you just make the smartest plays and you maybe don't have the best mechanics, like you're just average mechanics, well, that's really good, because you can always improve your mechanics. It is a little bit harder to improve your game sense, but you can in the long run. But if you have better game sense, you can normally beat or do better than kids with just average game sense and better mechanics. So if you're looking forward to this video, make sure you slap a like button on it, hit that subscribe button, comment what you want to see for a future video, and let's go right into the video. And make sure you're using creator code WraithFN in the item shop. So for my first tip today, and I've talked about this not as much recently, but I did stress it so much in my old videos, and you guys definitely need to start doing it, but it is watching and studying pro players, like VOD reviewing them. And all of you OG fans, I love you by the way, who know me and who have watched my videos, you guys know how much I stress rewatching VODs. And basically the reason why I stress it so much is because there's a reason that these pro players are at the top of the top. Like, for example, Benji Fishy, yes, he has unbelievable mechanics, unbelievable aim, doesn't miss an edit, blah blah blah, right? Unbelievable. But if you watch his rotates, watch him during fights, he almost outthinks every single player, or outthinks rotating even. He literally realizes where the best paths are to rotate, how to get to zone without encountering people, or if he wants to encounter people, where to go, etc, etc. Like, there is so much you can learn from watching a pro player, and the reason why I recommend this so much is, like I said, there's a reason that they're at the top of the top. There's a reason they're winning money playing Fortnite, is because they are doing most things, if not everything, right. So what you can do is watch them, maybe even watch through Benji, or watch the video I just made about Unknown Army, and see how to VOD review properly, and be like, okay, well, he does this here. Instead of taking this fight because he's low on mats, he just decides to dip. Endgame, he's low on mats, so he decides to push someone. Whatever the case is, right? Just watch him, even write down a couple of notes you see, and just remember it, and then try and incorporate it into your own game. Trust me, it will help so much, and just seeing how they take fights, how they don't take fights, how they rotate, will help your game IQ so much. So now this next tip, I don't think I've honestly ever talked about it, or I have, but not really in this much in depth, but it's basically understanding external factors that can happen between you during a fight. So basically what a lot of you guys think or have this mentality is, whenever you see someone, you just get ready for the fight, or you're just like, okay, I need to shoot him, and then I need to start ramp rushing him, or I need to box up, or he's going to box up and I need to apply pressure, and you're just solely thinking on that fight. You're thinking how to kill that person, etc, etc, which 100% is a good, like, you need to be focused on that specific fight, but it's also very important to be also kind of in the back of your mind thinking about external things that can happen during the fight. So some examples would be, one, understanding that there could be a potential third party, or you got to realize where you are on the map. If you're in a major POI, there's a good potential of someone else coming in. If there's not much map left, like if the zone's just closing in a lot, you got to realize that there's probably people coming in where you are. So you got to realize and like understand that there's a potential third party. You got to always be looking at the storm. Like, for example, if you're in the zone, like you need to, you're good, but you need to make sure you realize that if the safe zone's at the far side of the map, well, you're gonna have to end this fight quickly. You got to always be checking your mats, etc. So it's almost like kind of doing an inventory, which I'm going to talk about in my next tip, but it's very important to understand that, yeah, it's important to focus on the specific fight you're in, but it's also super important to almost surpass that fight and start thinking about potential next things that can happen. How are you going to rotate out of this? Do you have enough shield where if you take a lot of damage, blah, 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 right? Like, it's just super important to think about the fight, like I said, but also think about other things that can happen outside of the fight. Like I said, third party, storm, etc., etc. So kind of like I just said, another thing that you need to be doing is basically your inventory check. I see so many people not paying attention to their inventory or stuff like that, or like I'll talk about all the different things, that it's just like, I don't understand why people don't do it. Yes, it's so simple, and yeah, it doesn't really improve your game IQ, but if you're not doing it and you die because you ran out of mats or you don't have any extra heals and you didn't know that, that's just so low IQ in my opinion during a game. Like, you always need to be paying attention to the small things. So for example, like I said, inventory check. One thing would be checking what weapons you have. Like, do you have a sniper? Do you have a rocket launcher? How many rockets do you have? Do you need a shotgun? Do you only have a common pump, so you need a better shotgun? What is the case? Do you have only white heals? Do you have tons of extra heals like shield, big pots, minis, etc.? What are your mats like? How many people are left in the game? Like, that small thing, yeah, it may not result in like becoming the smartest player in the game, knowing how many people are left in the game, but it's a small thing that's just so important to game overall IQ. It can affect whether you're playing W key, if you're playing passive. Like, if there's 27 people left, well, yeah, maybe play a little bit more passive for if it's a tournament. If there's 10 people left and the zone's super small, know where the 10 people are. Like, it's so important. The small things like inventory checking, the zone checking, where the next safe zone is. Like, all those small things are just so important that, yes, I guess you can understand, or you could kind of make this argument that it's similar to my tip 3, but I don't think so. Just small tips in general, yeah, they might not seem like making you the smartest player in the lobby, but just making sure that you kind of understand how to check for your inventory, making sure you realize how many mats you have. It's just, if you die because you don't know how many mats you have, like I said, just low IQ, you always need to be checking small things like that. So now going back to the VOD reviewing side, and you guys know, like I just said at the start of the video, talking about VOD reviewing pros, one of the best things you can do to improve your IQ in Fortnite, or even just improve in general. And the next thing, in my opinion, is VOD reviewing yourself and VOD reviewing your own gameplay. Again, I talked about this and I stressed it so much that I decided I need to start stressing it again because it is so important. But clipping your games from tournaments, or clipping your games from customs or whatever, and saving them and watching through them and taking down notes on what you could have done better is so good in my opinion. You realize what you did wrong, you can fix your mistakes so then you don't do it again. Something even better you can do besides just writing it down, because just watching the video, yeah, that's good, but writing it down will actually cement it in your mind so you don't do it in the future again. But even getting one of your buddies, or switching VODs, like one of your buddies, you get him to clip and then he sends his games over and then you send your games over, and then they also take notes and then you take notes for him, figuring out what you guys did wrong, just so you have another set of eyes on it. Trust me, if you do this for like the next 3 cash cups or something, you will see such big improvement in your cash cup IQ, and you'll realize, like, for example, you write down, I should have rotated this zone, and then your buddy writes down, you should have rotated this zone this early. Well, the next time you're going to do that, now that you know, you're going to be like, hey, my buddy said it, I said it, next time this happens in the game, I'm 100% going to rotate early this zone, or whatever the case is, right? It's so important to realize what you did wrong, and the best way to do that is basically watching your own VODs. So talking about realizing what you did wrong, and I see this so much, especially like from good players and especially streamers, which yes, they can do it a little bit more just because they are at the top of the top, and we all know Tfue is the worst for this, but it is blaming other things and complaining when you die. People complained about Tfue doing this so much, and he even mentioned it himself, and that is the reason why a lot of people just thought he fell off, is because every single time he'd die, he'd blame it on stream snipers, he'd blame it on the game, or whatever the case is, right? Not a good mentality to have. If you just keep blaming things, you're not going to see improvement, you're not going to understand what's going wrong. So when you die, yes, it might be something weird that killed you, but you got to understand, did you rotate too late? Did you not have enough health because you weren't, I don't know, farming or looking through chests enough? whatever the case is, there is some part of the reason you died. Like, again, did you rotate through salty springs instead of rotating to the side so you had less chance of running through people? Like, there's just so many small things that can factor into why you died. Yes, obviously sometimes it is out of your control, but instead of like complaining about it, try and think and be like, hey, what did I do wrong here? What could I have done better? This kind of goes back to the VOD review. And if you can figure that out, trust me, you will become a better player in the long run, 100%. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you slap a like button on it. Comment what you want to see for a future video. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys all in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Peace.